Each week, a furious pack breaks to the front in the Grand National Cross Country Series. And there's a lot of big hitters that want to win races. But each week, Caleb Russell finds a way to overcome them. His last win in South Carolina was his most dominant yet. Can anyone stop the champ? The chase is on here at the Dunlop Limestone GNCC. Different attitudes you'll see in the pits. There are those that are chasing Thad Duvall, Chris Bach, a pair of Honda riders. Then there's the team that's being chased. They've won all the races this year. They're all smiles under that FMF KTM tent. The Dunlop Limestone GNCC, this is round 5 of the AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Series presented by Maxxis. They're all fighting for an AMA National Championship, and they're fighting Caleb Russell, who won the title last year and has now won 3 of the first 4 races this year, stealing the points lead away from Charlie Mullins, his teammate who won the other race this season. Who can knock them off? Well, Josh Strang has been the biggest thorn in the side as of late with a couple of podiums. Been trying to chase down Mullins late in the last couple of races. You've got the Honda boys we saw at the top of the show, Andrew DeLong and the Husky. Lots of riders that can win through the first turn. It's another KTM. Stuart Baylor getting in and out of the first turn well, but Paul Wibley, the master of the hole shot, grabs the All Balls Racing Hole Shot Award. Here's Strang running the Rocky Mountain ATV empty helmet cam. Got the former motocross rider Ryan Sipes right in front of him. But as we get this Limestone GNCC underway, no surprise. Good start for Wibley. Mullins is right there as well. But a good start for Russell, and that is not normally the case. So he'll have a little bit easier today. Just saw the number 12 of Takeshi Koikita go by. Thad Duvall, who you mentioned, is right there. There is Sipes, still learning the craft of off-road racing, as Wibley leads Mullins and Russell around, and everyone else is really going to have to get on the gas, keep them in sight. You got Jordan Ashburn, Baylor, and DeLong coming through next. They're all going to learn their lessons here. You got 3 riders who have all won this championship before up front, and they are threatening to run away from it. We're going to go back to the start for our XC2 class. Chris Douglas grabbing the digitaloffroad.com hole shot, a bunch of XC2 riders tangling up. Douglas leading them into the woods. Ricky Russell right there on the 212 Yamaha. I saw Shane Hufford and Lane Michael go by. And way back here is your number 1, Grant Baylor. He's got his work cut out for him. Shout out, by the way, to Rory Mead, who is battling for the championship in this class. A devastating injury 2 races ago in North Carolina has left him paralyzed, at least for the moment. And we hope he's able to make a strong recovery. And you can go to the Dirtwise Riding School site to learn more how you can contribute to Rory's situation and lend him some support. Back to our XC1 class. No change in the running order. Still Wibley, Mullins, Russell. Nice job by Ashburn, Baylor, and DeLong. They know what they need to do. Keep those guys in sight as long as possible. Easier said than done in these open, dusty sections, but when you consider how much mud we had at the opening few rounds, riders will take conditions like this, and Russell will take the lead. So he's gotten around, but look at this pack. It's actually gotten closer. Now you have Duvall coming through, Koikita and Bach on the Rockstar Johnny Campbell Racing Honda. Staying right with this group, this is old school GNCC, seeing this many riders this close early, although Russell trying to put a stop to that. He's going to try to open it up. I like what I'm seeing from Duvall here. He's made a pass almost every time we've gotten a look at this group. Now he's gotten around DeLong. And there's no doubt about it, Bad Thad has the speed on the ridemps.com machine. Also backed by AMSOIL and Honda. There he is, trying to make another pass, but this time on Baylor. So watch out for Bad Thad. And watch out for this guy. Look at the handling of this big rock section, and that's what Russell said he's really been working on as of late. Enduro cross type stuff. Out west, he has a new KTM teammate in Taylor Robert, who is an expert in this type of terrain. And Russell spent a lot of time out west with him, upping that aspect of his craft, and it pays off in these really tight technical races. Now, XC2, we've got a duel brewing. Lane Michael and Jesse Grom chasing each other. Grom has now taken the lead, and right in this group, some of the XC1 riders who they have caught from Road 2. There's Ricky Russell, and there's Michael. So it's Grom, Russell, Michael battling for the #1 spot in XC2. Stay with us.
Twins have notoriously been very hard on crankshafts because that big long stroke of those 2 cylinders just flexes the crankshaft around. So we were seeing bearing issues. Research development people at AMSOIL could show us that it was likely an oil problem. And they were correct. That was the issue. Instead of having to redesign the engine, I just had to do a better quality oil.
Racer TV is brought to you by AMSOIL, by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and by Can-Am. Caleb Russell leads the way here. Coverage of the Dunlop Limestone GNCC, and he is really hustling, trying to open up a gap on Charlie Mullins, who has gotten around Paul Whibley. The real question is anyone going to keep these 3 in sight? They are 3 big hitters. They've won the championship here before. And I have another question. Where is Josh Strang? He was the rider at the top of the show that we thought could challenge the 2 KTMs. Right now it's Whibley trying to do it, but they're starting to get away from the AmPro and Fab Yamaha rider. Same thing with his teammate, Jordan Ashburn, who is 4th. Duval continues to hustle. He's riding a 250. He comes through next. Then it's DeLong on the Husqvarna. Koikita through, and then Box. So this battle has changed quite a bit. At one point, this group appeared to be losing touch with the leaders. They caught back up. Now, we might be in for a breakaway. And look at Mullins. He's got the bit between his teeth. He does not want to let Russell get away from him. So the battle to watch now totally different. The 2 KTMs up front, and now the 2 Yamahas for 3rd and 4th. They might have some company. I'm telling you, Bad Thad is coming on strong. Then it's DeLong. Then Koikita, multi-time All-Japan motocross champ who now lives and races here in the United States, made the transition into off-road racing in Japan for a few years, then the last few seasons has tried his hand in the American woods and continues to get more and more effective each season. Looks like Ashburn has taken 3rd away from his teammate Whibley. And Whibley under fire from Duval. You give Duval a start. I would love to see what he could do. He's proven before he could run the pace of those 2 lead KTMs, but not known as a great starter. Plus, he's choosing to ride that 250. I don't think that makes matters any better off the line. Meanwhile, you have a 350 with Russell and a 450 with Mullins, and Mullins is definitely keeping Russell in sight. And the way KR absolutely dominated the last 2 rounds, it's good to see Mullins keeping the heat on him. Make this interesting. Here goes Duval. He's still digging. He's up to 4th, past Whibley. They're finding new lines all over the place here. Let's see what Koikita does. Yeah, they're all taking the high line. Well, shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, right? Fans are digging it here. Our cameras are not. They're getting roosted, but they are getting treated to a first-class battle between these 2 KTM teammates. Who's coming through next? It is a freight train. Look out. One rider is a lap rider. Then it's Ashburn. Then it's Duval. And Duval's going for 3rd, and he's got it. Thad Duval. Boy, he is on fire today. I think the first time we saw him, he was probably 9th or 10th. Now he has worked his way all the way into the top 3. As Grom goes by leading XC2, here is Russell trying to keep him in sight. Russell, backed by the Jason Rains Riding University, Atlas Cycles, and the Yamaha Blue Crew, now has Grant Baylor behind him. So we have finally found Grant Baylor on the radar. Here's the number 9, UKJT, Jason Thomas, XC1. And I think that's Grom right there. Grom is trying to run and hide from Russell and Baylor. So battles are starting to heat up. We got the two KTM teammates dueling in XC1 and a huge pack of contenders in XC2.
Sometimes you come across something so different, you just have to stop and check it out. The Rocky Mountain ATV MC website has everything you need, from our huge selection of tires, ATV and UTV accessories, and OEM parts, to our online chat, customer reviews, and instructional videos. Our extensive inventory means most orders arrive in 3 days or less. Get low prices, quick shipping, and incredible customer service. RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
Racer TV is brought to you by AMSOIL. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. And by Can-Am. Well, we have a bit of a shakeup here at the Dunlop Limestone GNCC. We had a teammate battle for the #1 spot, but now one of those teammates is all alone. Charlie Mullins with the lead. Thad Duvall has climbed now all the way up to second, and Caleb Russell nowhere to be seen. He had a huge crash, and we just know he's way back at the back of this XC1 pack. So Paul Whibley, through perseverance, is back into the #3 position. And how about Takeshi Koikita? Might be the best ride ever for him here in the States in GNCC, making a bid for a top 5. And we will try to keep the cameras out, track down Russell. Now it's Ashburn coming through, so we're outside of the top 5, still waiting for the champ, and there he is. So that must have been a wallop of a crash, because he and Mullins had built up a pretty good lead, and he lost all that ground and then some. So now he has to go back to work, first on Ashburn. As for Mullins, this is the opportunity he's been waiting for, and he is not letting it pass him by. Look at the speed he had down that hill and through this trail. Now, how about Duvall? Man, he is on the gas. I don't know if we could count Duvall out of winning this thing. And Whibley ever steady in third. Those guys are going to make it tough on Russell, who has now climbed up to the #4 position, but Whibley's not easy to get around. Duvall and Mullins are running very, very fast today. There is Koikita, Ashburn, and look, Ricky Russell from that XC2 class now has the front set of riders from XC1 in his sights. So he's leading the way in XC2, and this is a great situation for Ricky Russell. You just follow these guys in front of you, and they'll pull you along. Meanwhile, Duvall going to work on the lead that Mullins has built up. Now we're going to check in with Whibley and see how close Caleb Russell is. Can he at least salvage a third out of the day? He's got a long way to go. Not in the shot. You see him go by here, not in the picture when Whibley came by. So Caleb's really going to have to get on the gas. And look at Mullins. That's not fast forward. That's the real deal. Wow. I'll tell you what, you don't often see someone come through a section and actually look like they're hanging it out more than Thad Duvall, but I think Mullins was even more on the edge. They know the opportunity they've been given. For Mullins, it's a chance to take big advantage in the point standings, try to get that points lead and make it as big as possible. I would assume he saw the Caleb crash because they were battling with each other, so he knows what happened. He knows his teammate is down, and this is a golden opportunity to make up some ground. And now finally Russell is close enough to Whibley where we can get them in the same shot. So as big as the crash was, clearly it has not shaken up your defending GNCC champion that badly. He's back on his horse and back up to pace. Oh, Mullins kicked it sideways on that log. I'm telling you, he is pouring the coals. And Duvall is still closing the gap. And a little bit less of a mistake there. Still kicked sideways a bit. Watch out for Thad. See how Whibley attacks this big log crossing. No problem for him. Next up will be Russell. Whoa! Well, They'll know better when they hit that thing the next time around. Now Mullins into some lap traffic. That's going to make things even more difficult. I'm just amazed. I don't even know if we've seen Mullins with his feet off the pegs at any point in this race. He's so good with his balance. Duval able to do the same. Duval a little bit lower on the bike, though. Makes it a little easier to maintain the balance. He's got that low center of gravity, the slung back handlebars. It's kind of the new wave of riding style, and that has developed that over the years. We do have a battle for third materializing between Whibley and Russell is not waiting. He is just finding different lines everywhere, and he found one. He's up to third. Already out into the field is Mullins, so time running out. And I still don't see Duval anywhere in the shot. So Mullins really pushed the pace at the midway point of this one, and it has paid off.
What do you call a machine that combines precision-engineered handling, industry-leading power, and a rider-focused design? We call it a Can-Am. From the essentials to fully loaded, you'll find that same combination in every ATV and side-by-side we build. And right now, get your own for as low as $149 a month. Can-Am, the ride says it all.
Racer TV is brought to you by AMSOIL, by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and by Can-Am. The hot rod, Charlie Mullins, leads the way here in Indiana. Been a great season for Mullins so far. He has won every single round, by the way, of the AMA National Enduro Series. And looking to get the points lead back in GNCC here. There is Thad Duval in second and Caleb Russell in third. You want to talk about, it looks like it's a fast forward. Wow. Just dancing over the tops of these bumps. Here is Whibley. Now last year Whibley was your defending champ, but he was dealing with a sports hernia injury. We did not see the best of him. This year, we knew he would come back healthy. The question was, could he find the pace to knock off these KTM riders? So far this year, he's had a few good moments. He's had some bad ones. But overall, he's not been able to challenge him down the stretch for wins. We'll see if the veteran can ratchet it back up. But these three have gotten away from him. Duval in second, Russell in third. Duval now, a potential spoiler in the point standings. Wait a minute, look at Whibley. Maybe my words motivated him. He has closed back up on Russell. I just need to mention that Whibley has had a couple disappointing races more. Maybe that'll help the guy out. This is still Duval all alone for second. I don't think he's got a shot now at Mullins. He was coming through traffic so quickly that I thought maybe it was possible. Duval was 27 seconds behind Mullins at one point. Now it's about 40, so Mullins has pulled away just a tad. And then it was about a minute between Duval and Russell, but he keeps charging. I'm going to think it's closer than that now. So a lot of pressure on Duval. Can he keep his head down? Can he maintain this pace all the way to the end? Because here you go, the number one plate is coming after him. I think Mullins is in a good position right now. He's got just a big enough lead. But we're going to see if Russell can run down Duval. And they're all in that no man's land. They cannot see each other. It's just going to be heart, will, desire. Who's got the guts to push harder and press on regardless. Here's your leader, Mullins, again. Listen to how tall a gear he runs, the high RPM. The suspension works better on these bikes. For whatever reason, it's a chain torque reaction and all these other things, a spinning gyroscopic effect, but basically the bottom line is when you run it at a low RPM, the suspension works a little bit better in this technical stuff. And then obviously the bike's not quite as willing to spin the rear tire. No one was lugging it around like Mullins through that area, but he does have the 450, so he can do that, a little bit more grunt. That's a big, steep downhill, big, steep uphill. The cameras don't really do it justice. And then that rock at the top. What skill all these riders have. This is really just fun to see them attack it in their different style. Check out Duval here. Forget about standing up, feet on the pegs, trial style, all that. He's just making it work. And Russell in third. Time is running out in this one. It's the final lap and the last time onto the field. Guess what, kids? We're going to have a points lead change again. And it continues to swap between the KTM teammates. Charlie Mullins, not happy the way the last couple races went. He'll be happy about this one. He takes the Dunlop Limestone GNCC. And now we wait for second. We hear that Russell is really closing in because Duval had a crash, and he's now right there. And no goggles for Duval either. Only a few turns left. How dirty is Russell willing to be? Oh, almost tagged that rear wheel of Duval. It's a battle right down to the wire. Duval's going to hang on for second and split the KTM riders. And you know, oh, listen to that. Revving right to the limit. Pops the clutch, shaking the head. Caleb Russell not happy about that. He lost a bunch of points to Mullins when you look at the AMSOIL results. Stuart Baylor, nice job. Still on the comeback trail from a huge wrist injury from a few years ago. Finishes up in fifth. Was able to get around Kwakita Ashburn. Bach, not what he wanted today. I don't think the same for Strang. We go to the XC2 class. Ricky Russell, that's his first win. Baylor second, Grom third. You saw those riders battling. Michael and Jedediah Haynes there as well. And here are your point standings brought to you by AMSOIL. There it is, 7 points now. The gap between Mullins and Russell, that's basically the difference between the first and the third today. So you know why Russell was so bummed about not getting Duval, who's had his bad luck. He's way back in ninth. Let's give you the AMSOIL race recap. Huge hole shot for the two-stroke rider, Stuart Baylor. But Paul Whibley would knife his way to the inside and take over the lead. He had to deal with both KTM factory pilots, both Mullins and Russell, and they would both take their turn in the lead. Then Russell, a big crash, to be sent back, and from there the hot rod was cool under fire. He takes the win. Russell's charge for second on Thad Duval comes up short. Nice riding for both. They simply didn't give up. And we hope you don't either. Join us next week on Racer TV. Thanks for watching.